don't know how the Lord deals with y'all, but if he gives me something he wants me to share, and if I'm being disobedient or I'm procrastinating or dragging my feet, like he will burden me with it and not let up until I release whatever he has given me to speak. It's been lingering today, and then finally, even while I was just trying to sit down and relax, like I had no peace, I had no rest. It was like, get up, do what it is that I told you to do. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Help me to deliver this word the way you gave it to me. This is for if you have been instructed by God to sit, to be still, or to wait. Something that God has given you an instruction for. It can be anything for your promise. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me just say that. But I know many of you follow me for my marriage ministry. So if God has told you to be still or to wait, or he's instructed you, thank you, Holy Spirit, that what has been required of you or expected of you is done, or to wait for more instructions or to wait for more strategies. This can even be for a business that God has given you the business, but you're supposed to wait for strategies and instructions. You're supposed to wait for the download, for the provision. Like, just like he, thank you, Holy Spirit, gave Noah the command to build the ark, he still gave him instructions on how to build the ark. I'm in 1 Samuel 13 and what is this? Verse 7. Saul's disobedience to Samuel's rebuke. Meanwhile, Saul stayed at Gilgal, and his men were trembling with fear. Saul waited there 7 days for Samuel, as Samuel had instructed him earlier. Okay? Saul waited 7 days for Samuel, as Samuel instructed him earlier. But Samuel didn't come. Saul realized that his troops were rapidly slipping away, so he demanded, "Bring me the burnt offering and the peace offerings," and Saul sacrificed the burnt offering himself. Just as Saul was finishing with the burnt offering, Samuel arrived. Saul went out to meet him and welcome him, but Samuel said, "What is this you have done?" Saul replied, "I saw my men scattering from me, and you didn't arrive when you said you would." Pause. Insert a pause right there. How many of you are like, God, you didn't come when you said you would? Thank you, Holy Spirit. The sisters of Mary and the sisters of Lazarus, Mary and Martha, like, where were you? You didn't come when you said you would. Had you come sooner, our brother wouldn't have died. And the Philistines are at Michmash ready for battle. So I said, the Philistines are ready to march against us at Gilgal, and I haven't even asked for the Lord's help. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering myself before you came. How foolish, Samuel exclaimed. You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. Had you kept it, the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. But now your kingdom must end, for the Lord has sought out a man after his own heart. And this is King David, for those of you who did not know. The Lord has already appointed him to be the leader of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command. For some of you, God has given the instruction to be still for your marriage restoration. If you move forward right now, I feel in the spirit that the enemy is really stirring up for you to move forward. He's really stirring up for you to move ahead. He's stirring up for you to sacrifice this burnt offering yourself when you were instructed for Samuel to do it. Do not go ahead of God. Do not move in haste. Do not move based on assumption. Don't start feeling compelled to do anything with the instructions that the Lord gave you, because anytime the Lord commands us to do something, like we receive an instruction, he doesn't make us play the guessing game, like, what am I supposed to be doing now? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Many times when I'm doing my coaching sessions, they'll say, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, or God isn't speaking to me. I always say, what is the last thing he told you to do? Because God is not going to reveal your next until you are a good and faithful steward over your now. So whatever the last thing that he told you to do, that's the thing we're supposed to keep doing, right? If he told you to be still, continue to be still. If he told you to put your hands to the plow and move forward in that business, then you move forward, and you move forward well. If he told you to just wait and have faith, then you continue to have faith until he shows up with more. That's where we get antsy. And God don't care nothing about you being antsy or feeling compelled to do anything. But this clearly said, that's when his kingdom was taken from him. He said, your kingdom, you would have been king over Israel like forever. But because of your disobedience, now God has raised up another. He has appointed another. And like I said, this was King David. Don't miss out. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Don't let the devil trick you out of your blessing because you feel compelled to do something against what the Lord told you to do. Saul was doing this based on, you could say it was like peer pressure because of his men, his army. your loved ones, your family members, your friends, your circle, your church, whomever, don't allow them to trick you out of your blessing. Don't allow their peer pressure or their humanly compassion to make you feel like, hey, you still shouldn't be waiting. I know you feel like God told you to wait on this man or wait on this woman. I know you feel like God told you to stand, but it's been this long and it looks like he's moved on, or it looks like she's moved on, or it looks like this thing is not doing what God said it was going to do, right? In their compassion, in their big heart, like Peter, they think they're giving you advice, but they're giving you unaided opinions. I talked about this before. Unaided opinions is them not being led by the Holy Spirit. They're just giving the opinion, right? Flesh, humanly wisdom, not godly counsel or godly wisdom. You want to make sure anything that you yield to, anyone that you yield to, any instruction, thank you, Holy Spirit, that it is aided by the Holy Spirit, right? That they are being led by the Holy Spirit before you receive that. Just because someone's spoken doesn't mean you have to receive it, okay? Many of you feel like moving forward because God hasn't showed up when he said he would. Notice this said, right? Hold on, let's go back to it. I saw my man scattering from me, and you didn't arrive when you said you would. God may have told you this is the hour, this is the time, this is the now, this is the season, right? And you're feeling like, God, you told me now, but it looks like this man is moving on. It looks like this woman is moving on. It looks like, they're progressing with the counterfeit. It looks like they're moving on, living their best life. You didn't come when you said you would. So you moving in haste in this particular situation would be like you entertaining the 20%. Looking forward to trying something different other than the last instruction that God told you to wait. If he told you to wait, does not matter if it's 7 days, 7 months, or 7 years. I get it. I've been in that situation before, but I sense in the spirit a very strong urge to get up and move, a strong urge to get up and do something else. Thank you, Holy Spirit. A strong urge to get up and do the thing that you think God needs your help to do. I've mentioned this before. Do not create you an Ishmael situation because you think God needs your help. Whatever he has instructed you to do that and do that well. He's testing you. Like, God doesn't show up a moment too soon or a moment too late. It feels like he be cutting it close, though. It feels like he waits till the midnight hour to come through. But in this, don't allow your disobedience to get you, to have you tricked out of your blessing, right? This would have been Saul's, right? But now your kingdom must end, for the Lord has sought out a man after his own heart. The Lord already appointed him. Back up some. Had you kept it, thank you, Holy Spirit, the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. Had you did what God said, this would have been fruitful forever. But because you disobeyed, because you moved in haste, because you allowed the enemy to trick you out of your blessing, God appointed someone else. God did something else. Like, don't miss your spot because you feel compelled to do against what the Lord has told you to do. Stay put.